Hey YouTube, and today is a reviewing day, and the tobacco I will be reviewing today is one that James Astroman 2112 gave me, and I'd like to thank him for that because it's a really nice tobacco, and it's one that's quite hard to get in the community. It's impossible to get here, and it's increasingly hard to get in the US as well, and that is esoterica's penzance. I put it in these little rainbow snack bags because it's easy to store in my pipe bag. And let's talk about the tobacco. Well, the tobacco itself, I've started off as flakes. It's no longer flakes, it kind of been broken up in transit a bit. And I would advise you to, with all the products of the Esoterica and JF Germains who make it, they come a bit damp, so dry them out. I've dried them out in a small bowl. It's an old British Airways salad bowl, and let's have a look. Right, you've got quite small pieces in it with some ribbon still there. That's been pressed into a flake. It's not the prettiest tobacco in the world, but it isn't the ugliest either. Let's see what it smells like. You get that smell of the Turkish and Orientals in it, and that nice smoky flavour of the latakia. You get hints of the sweetness from the Virginias as well. It reminds me of a slight leathery tones, a slight woodiness, very much slight savoury tones with a little touch of sweetness from the Virginias. It's a very pleasant smelling tobacco. Now, usually I'm not very keen on hype about tobacco, and it's associated things that happen with that, because some tobaccos just get talked up more than they're worth. But in this case, I think it's justified. It is a very good quality tobacco. Now let's give this a relight. I am more than halfway through the bowl now. Now upon first lighting this, I thought you would get a hit of the latakia first, but I was pleasantly surprised. You got a combination of the Oriental and the Turkish with hints of the Virginia, and you've got some nice sweetness coming from them Virginias. It's only subtle, the sweetness, and it feels a natural sweetness, but it was very pleasant. Now as you smoked on a bit further, you got the latakia coming through, and it came through nicely. It didn't overpower. I think it was a well balanced tobacco, and it's been very well blended. Now the smoke itself, now as I said, you got that Oriental Virginia when you first started off, and that nice cutting through with the latakia. Then as you go on, I notice it dipped a bit, and you got some Virginias coming through, and then more latakia, and then I found it combining more, and you get a more harmonious balance. You're getting a nice creaminess from the smoke, and it feels quite pleasant in the mouth. You get a nice level of nicotine as well. It's quite strong on the nicotine, but not overpowering. For me, the nicotine level is about right with penzance. and it's a very pleasant smoke. It's very satisfying. I've noticed as I get towards the end of the bowl, it's bringing in a bit more strength now. And I've noticed the nicotine's gone up a notch. Not too much though. I'm quite enjoying it. I'd say don't temp it too hard, but make sure it's temped regularly. Now I noticed when I first smoked it, the did smoke a little hot, but this time it's okay. I slowed down a bit, then just took it a bit easier, and it was fine. That was more to do with my impatience than the tobacco itself. I'm getting a sort of meaty, almost mushroomy taste now. Just hints of a sort of mushroomy taste, and the woody tones and slight sweetness. I've noticed more hints of leather in it as well now. Now I left this only about, I put it out about 2 bowls worth in this, this is a 1950s Dr. Plum. And you can see where it used to be quite lighter than this, where it's been coloured by smoking. It's one of my favourite pipes. No, I do think those Dr. Plums from the 1950s were very good. If I had to choose a pipe by Dr. Plums, I'd either choose ones from the 1930s, which is one of their heydays, and the 1950s, where they made excellent pipes. Primarily in the 50s they used Algerian briar, and they're still being made, but I don't think they're the same level of quality as they are now as they were then. But not many pipe manufacturers are. A lot of the mass market pipes now aren't as well made as they used to be. Things like Greybows and, well, pick your own brand and think of it yourself. Now, all in all, I would recommend this tobacco. And funny enough, I would choose the same beer as I chose before, which is a Ruby Red Ale by St. Peter's, because I think you get a nice contrast in flavours. Or a good quality stout would go with this, and I've chosen a blended whiskey this time as well. The whiskey I would have with this would be Ballantine's. It's got a nice mix of flavours that I think would complement the sweet tones and the latakia tones in it. I think they would be a good match. I don't put anything in the Ballantine's, I just have it as it is. The only thing I mix with Ballantine's is more Ballantine's. Now, if I could have this regularly in my rotation, I would. I'd have it as much as I could. It's that good. If I could get more, I would. All in all, I'd say it was an excellent tobacco. Esoterica penzance. and I would say it was highly recommended. It's gonna take a lot to beat this at this rate. Yeah, I'm getting them sweet tones again. But all in all, I say yes, definitely. Whatever, try the penzance. I think you'll like it. I'd love to try some of the other esoterica blends. Then if I can get some, I will. Oh well. See ya.